And the old me would have been like, what is going on with you? Are you feeling okay? Hey everyone, I've had like quite a few of you just recently saying, can I do a handbag collection video? And I'm working on one as we speak, and it's going to be quite surprising to you because it's not going to be a beautiful handbag collection video. It's going to be the raw truth about my current state of affairs when it comes to bags. So keep watching if you want to see more of that. That's going to be going out at the end of July. But I thought that what I would do is come on here and do an Hermes collection, because I have quite the collection now, and I never thought that this would be a brand I'd really get into. And I still feel on the fence with it. So I'm going to talk to you about all of that, show you my bag collection, show you what I've got, and tell you how I got the bags that I have. So this is my first, and I can't work out, I've got a favourite. This is like my number 2 favourite, but this is a PICOTIN in a size 18, and I got this from Luxury Promise. So here's the twist. Actually, most of my Hermes bags, all bar one, are actually second-hand. Some of you have said to me, and this is the question that a lot of you ask me, would you play the game to get an Hermes bag? No. Here's to explain it. If I go into store and there is something I want to buy that's an accessory, like for example, I've been looking at these Hermes sneakers for like a little while now. If I went to buy them, it wouldn't be to build up any sort of credit to get a bag, because frankly, from what I've heard, I'd have to buy a lot more than one pair of trainers to qualify for anything. So if I go in and buy an accessory, it's because I want it. It's not, I wouldn't do it with a view to buying loads of bits and pieces I don't really want or need or have space for, just to qualify potentially for a bag. And some of you have said to me, you know, obviously this is not a quota bag. And some of you have said to me, oh, you can get these easily. Guys, you really can't. You can't walk into store and get a PICOTIN. I mean, if you know someone, if you're a big spender, and they have one out back, they probably will offer it to you. But for the general public, particularly if you have like not really any purchase history like me, your chances are very, very slim. I asked about this bag, and even though I owned it, I was like, have you got any other colors? This was when I bought the rodeo charm, and I was told no. Now, is that true? Did they have one out back? Possibly, but it was not gonna be offered to me, and that's absolutely fine. I realize how the whole Hermes thing goes, and it's no disrespect to anyone who wants to play that game. I get why you'd want to do it. For me, I would rather spend the extra money, save on all the toot that I would potentially end up buying, the designer junk, no, it's not junk, but you know what I mean, the clutter. I would rather save the money on that and just pay a little bit more and get it secondhand. So this bag is currently around about, if you can get it from Hermes, it's currently around about £2,500, 2,500, 2,600. I paid 3,600 for this. So I paid a lot more, and I knew I was paying over, but it's a brand new bag, and it's in a colour that I never thought I'd go for an orange bag, but it's in a colour that I absolutely love, and this leather it exceeded my expectation. When it turned up, it's absolutely gorgeous. I also thought I'd show you. So I just put some scarves on it from Amazon, actually. Although on this bag, let me know if you're the same. Veronica, I know that you said that you get this. When you put twilly scarves on this bag, they come loose and they come off. It's very annoying. It doesn't really happen so much on my other bag that I'm going to show you. But on the inside, I have a bag sort of shaper, organizer, and it's this, and this is from and it's also got my initials on it, which I love, that extra touch there. This is from Handbag Angels, and I really recommend them. They're really good, very good quality, and they've got a really big selection of colors that you can pick for the inside of your bag, the lining. And by the way, some of you might remember on this bag that I had these like black marks that look like charcoal on the inside. It's got like a Swedish kind of lining. I managed to get it off, thank God. Do you know what it was? I bought a pair of vintage Chanel sunglasses, and the box, the actual glasses case box, has perished, and the box is black, but the black is flaking off in these big chunks, and where the box had been in the bag, it had rubbed against the suede and had like left marks, but I used a soft cloth on it and it managed to brush off, which is really great. So that's my first bag, and that's the kind of story behind that. The next thing I was going to show you, this is really old now, but I've got one of their Click H bracelets. If I come in closer and show you, if it's gonna focus, not on my face. Can't get it to focus, so I'm not going to bother. But this, it is years old. I wouldn't recommend it actually. So I got the white enamel version with gold hardware. One thing I'm noticing with Hermes is their hardware is not very hard wearing. Excuse the pun. It's not very hard wearing. It scratches up. It's quite soft. It's a bit like Louis Vuitton hardware that is quite fragile. Not fragile. It's just gets hairline scratches quite easily. I don't really use this so much now, and I've even noticed very, 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 very slightly on some of the corners, the gold is just starting to go a little bit silver. Like, it's tiny, you can't even really see it, but I can see it when I get really close up. And so for that reason, although they're cute, I personally wouldn't buy one of these again. Even though when they're brand new and they're all shiny and nice, I really, really like them. My next bag is this one, which is the In the Loop bag. And again, the scarf that I've put on this is actually the exact same design as this scarf. They're just two different colours. With this bag, it's in the colour called Ardoise, I think it's called. And I wanted to go for like a royal blue emerald green theme with this bag. And so I thought, oh, I'll pick this scarf because that's quite nice. It's got it in it. And then on the inside, I bought a Handbag Angels like organizer that fits in. They have loads of on their website for different bags, so depending on what bag you've got, they probably will have something for it. But yeah, I thought, oh, I'll go green on the inside and like blue on the outside. The story with this, David surprised me with this. So this is the only bag I own that has come from Hermes direct. So with the other bags I'm going to show you, they're all secondhand. This bag, so some of you said to me, how did you manage to get this bag, or how did David manage to get this bag? If you stalk the Hermes website, more so recently in the last 2 months, I want to say, in the UK, they have been adding non-quota bags onto their website. They sell out in seconds. They go in seconds, so you've got to be really quick. But this bag came up. Well, in fact, two bags came up. This and the Evelyn bag. Don't really like the Evelyn bag personally, but I saw this and really liked it. And I went and showed David both bags, and before I knew it, they'd sold out. So, and I was just a bit like, oh, well, whatever. Wasn't meant to be. And then David, it turns out, later on that day, he said this bag came back on for like a matter of minutes. And he jumped in there and purchased it. And we didn't think, the bottom's really nice as well, look at that, it's got the like loop thing on it. We didn't think it was actually going to turn up, so he had to admit to me before it turned up that he bought it, but he didn't tell me which bag he bought, this or the Evelyn, so it was like a surprise. But the reason why he told me is because there was a delay in them shipping it. So you would imagine you buy it and it gets shipped the next day or a couple of days later. It didn't. It was on hold, the order was on hold. And he said to me, he was like, I've heard from your subscribers that Hermes are really tight on who they sell to. And he said, I just made an account and bought the bag. I don't have a history. And that's why we thought it was going to get cancelled, because the order status just said it was like in review. For days it said that, and it wasn't even an order confirmation email. I don't even know if they'd taken the money at that point. It was just all on hold. Anyway, in the end they shipped it and it turned up, and again, look at the quality of this leather. It really is gorgeous. It's so soft. It's a really soft leather. So that's my second item. And you know, I don't know what's happened to me. There are certain Hermes bags that I don't personally love. There are some that have grown on me over the years. I've never been an Hermes fan. In fact, I've always spoken against it, you know, and going back, I want to say 10 years, 7 to 10 years, I was like, I would never buy an Hermes bag, but I don't know what happened to me. I don't know whether it's just growing up, but there was the PICOTIN in orange. What happened was, I wasn't actually looking for that bag. I was just browsing the Luxury Promise website, and that bag was there, and like the picture of it just looked really beautiful. And I kept going back to it over like weeks. I kept going, literally weeks. I didn't jump in and buy it, and I was like, what's happening to me? Because I don't tend to go for Hermes bags. And I kept going back to it, and in the end I thought, right, I'm gonna order it because it feels kind of like the right thing to do. And when it turned up, a lot of you have told me the quality of Hermes is just like second to none, and I really was amazed when it turned up, and I showed David, and David, over the years, through my love of bags, he's really got to a point where he really appreciates them and can see like quality and when there's no quality there. And I showed him, and he was like, I wouldn't even want to use that bag because the leather feels like so soft and beautiful. So that's kind of like how I really got into it. And then once I bought that bag, then I saw, as I said, this one, which David got me, and then I've got a couple of other things to show you, but then, and I know some of you, when you see my charm that I'm using at the moment, you'll probably have a go at me, but this is the fun thing with charms, you can take them off. This is the bag. I have wanted, one exception to the rule. I always said to you guys, I wouldn't really go for Hermes, but I have always liked the Constance. I remember the first time I spoke about it was 2019, and I remember saying to you all, I really like this bag. And you know what put me off buying it is the price. I couldn't justify spending over £5,000 or £6,000 on a handbag. I couldn't, you know, Chanel at the time was like 3,000 to 4,000, so was Dior. And I thought, although I really want this bag, I don't, that's just silly money to spend on it, because some of you have told me these bags, like this is the 24 size. Some of you have told me that the price fluctuates slightly depending on the leather and the colour, etc. But roughly speaking, you're looking at around £8,000. And I was just like, that's a car, you know, that's crazy money. But then I got to this year having bought these two bags, and I was so impressed by the quality. It just felt like the right time to buy this. Now, what did I pay for it? I paid £7,650. And that's an obscene amount of money. But actually for this bag, from what I understand, that's kind of lowball. So I had this budget in mind of 7K. And I was struggling to find a bag in a colour, and I wanted Epsom leather, and I wanted pretty much new condition. I didn't want an old vintage one. I was struggling to find a bag that ticked that brief. And then I found this on the Cellier website, and it was either between this and one they had that was red in the colour called Rubis. However, I discovered the Rubis version didn't come with a box, didn't come with papers, didn't even come with a dust bag, and apparently the condition of it was like okay. It was quite scratched up and it was very used, and it was a 2016 bag. And for the money, I thought I'd rather spend a bit more, get a 2019 bag, which is what this is. This is in very good condition, and it came as a full set with all of the box and everything. And if I just tuck this around here so you can see, that's a mirror, by the way. It's just got a mirror on the back of it. But this is it. And I have been absolutely loving it. And by the way, this charm is actually silicone, so it doesn't like scratch the bag or anything. And then for my final two items, the next is a belt. This is really old. I bought this, I think, in 2018. And I remember getting it for my birthday. And at the time, we were staying at a hotel in central London, just as like a fun thing to do. It's that hotel in Knightsbridge that looks like a pineapple. What is it called? Park Tower Hotel? I'll put a picture of it in. It's quite a nice hotel. They've revamped it since we stayed. But I went to Harrods and I saw this colour actually just did it for me. I don't know what this colour is called, but it's reversible. So on the other side is red, and on this side is this bright pink. And I decided to get silver hardware. So that's the other thing. I don't really use this belt so much because I don't want to ruin it, but I should just use it really. Maybe I need a bag to match that colour. And then the final thing, and a lot of you have told me how I can use and enjoy this without damaging it. So one of my subbies, Denise, sent me the most generous gift. This is going back to 2016. And I remember when you bought me this and I couldn't believe the generosity. I was absolutely blown away. And I don't even know if Denise still watches, but Denise, if you do, massive appreciation to you, because this was above and beyond and so generous of you. But Denise bought me this beautiful cup, this Hermes cup, and I've always kept it in the box. And I kept it in the box with your note, so it's all together. The reason why I kept it in the box is I decided long ago I didn't want to use it because it will end up in the dishwasher. I'm not going to hand wash this every time. I don't know whether you can put it in the dishwasher, but I thought I don't want it getting chipped. I don't want it fading. I don't want it looking tired. But some of you have said, and I think I will do this, use this on your desk to keep your pens or even makeup brushes. And I think that's what I'm going to do with it. But for now, I keep it in the box. I take it out every so often and I like to look at it and enjoy it. Am I going to be adding to it? I felt like when I bought the Constance, you know, I said this to you, I kind of feel like my journey's over. It's not to say that I'm never going to buy a bag again. I'm not going to come on here and say that because that was a silly thing to make a claim on. But I think for now, I feel like I'm kind of done. I have seen, I'm not going to do it, but I have seen the PICOTIN in Rose Sakura, I think it's called. There's one at the moment that's a really good price that I've seen online. And the price is very close to retail. It's not like super over price. And actually, to be honest, to the seller, by the time they've removed their seller fees, they're probably only going to make back what they paid on it. So it's a very good price and it's new and it looks great. But I'm not going to do it because I feel like I have everything I need. And actually, I've got as you saw earlier, I've got a real situation going on with bags at the moment. I am trying to clear out. I'm trying to get organised. I have got a lovely walk-in wardrobe, and you know those girls on Instagram who have got like a minimalist collection of clothes, shoes and bags, and everything is on shelves beautifully. Mine doesn't look like that because I've got so much stuff that it's just a big mess. And that shelf I showed you earlier with the bags, that's an overflow shelf that I've got. That I've got everything that doesn't fit on the one in the dressing. It's just a mess at the moment. So I'm in no rush to add. But I think as I've got older, my taste has definitely changed. And, you know, I used to be massively into Dior and I still like their ready to wear. But I feel like I've got the bags that I want from there. You know, the Lady Dior, I feel like I've got it. I'm done with that. A lot of their bags that have the big logos on, not really into those so much anymore, just as my taste has changed. And the old me would have been like, what is going on with you? Are you feeling okay? But it's just, I don't know what's happened. It's just this evolution. It's an evolution. I want to thank all of you for watching. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.